Hello everyone, this is Zwaxor coming to you from the depths of my lair in the frozen world of Solace, and today we are going to tackle the next campaign, mission in the SolForge campaign. This one is Dysian Betrayal. Diz is the faction of, Diz I should say. Diz is the faction of Utera and Necrium. It's sort of a faction combination. So this is the mission description. Your initiation still fresh in your mind, you leave the safety of the SolForge to investigate some troubling rumors of a destroyed outpost near the outskirts of Diz, which is a world of the Utera-Necrium combination. As you approach, the signs of battle grow more frequent, revealing a group of vastly outnumbered Uteran warriors. Led by Nova, niece to Oros, and Forgeborn, they fight bravely but are quickly surrounded by a horde of venomous snakes, Naga, and their deadly queen. Help Nova defeat the Dysian horde. Okay, so I'm assuming we're going to be up against a lot of tough baddies, a lot of tokens, a lot of small creatures, which are going to be sacrificed for value and sort of as fodder for cards like Dysian Brood Queen, which is the art you see here. Dysian Brood Queen is a card where you can use it to sacrifice a creature you control to destroy a creature of the same level as Dysian Brood Queen or lower that your opponent controls. So what I'm going to do for these two faction campaign videos is I'm going to play the opposite faction combination to whatever it is that I'm fighting. And also, I will be playing without any legendaries or heroics whatsoever. So today, we're going to be playing with a deck I call Auratech Defenders. The deck is about playing all of these cards. We have Avalanche Guardian, Crucible Colossus, Vault Welder, Citadel Guard, and Steam Sentinel, who all have the keyword Defender, meaning they can attack on their own. However, their stats are quite good every level. And so you have effects like Flame Rift Instigator, Jetpack, and also Sparks Elemental, as well as one of the defenders itself, Vault Welder, that can turn off Defender from these creatures, which makes them into very, very strong threats. As support for this strategy, I have the card Auratech Battlebrand, which is the only faction, the only legal card within the faction combination with the ally keyword that I can actually play because it's not heroic. But what it does is it deals 6, 9, 12 damage to a creature and discards a card if you have an annoying card in your hand, which is very strong. And I have 14 annoying cards, so it's a bit on the low side, but it should be enough to trigger it just about every time. And then we have Snitterbound Barbarian, which has the bound effect, which means that if you are a higher rank than this creature is leveled, you get a bonus effect when you play it. So this deals 6 damage at level, if you play it during level 2 as level 1. 3 or higher, and it's 9 damage on 6/6, and 12 damage on 12/12 if you play it rank 4 or later. So yeah, basically because these defenders are generally not very good at affecting multiple lanes at a time, which I feel like a card like Cinderbound Barbarian will help a lot with. And also we have the card Nanoswarm, which if we come up against a card like Dysian Brood Queen, we want an answer like this, that just straight turns it off. And then it levels up to turn off even harder creatures, and actually also turn off their attack. So yeah, the reason we're only playing one Sparkstone Elemental, which is arguably one of the stronger defender removers because it removes from all creatures, is because when it dies, your creatures regain defender. So it's not a reliable way to sort of turn these defenders into win conditions. So that's what we're going to be playing, and let's see what happens. Not a moment too soon. Some foul darkness has spread among the Dysian, corrupting and twisting them. I fear they seek to obtain the Lash of Demara. We must defeat the Brood Queen and return to Dendris to warn my people. So the Lash of Demara is this legendary artifact. It is the embodiment of the Herald of... which one is it? Demara, Herald of Suffering or something. It's represented by a spell that gives poison to all your opponent's creatures, and then at level 3 it's a creature that does that when it enters the field and then can turn them into stone. It's a Gorgon, basically. But it's the herald of something. It calls to me through my dreams. Demara will be mine. And yeah, so basically Demara is the embodiment of this herald. The heralds were great leaders of the factions that existed before the world froze, and so they have been bound to these artifacts and frozen beneath the ice for all these years. And apparently the Dysian won the Lash of Demara, which makes sense since they do like snakes, and Demara is pretty much the snake goddess. So we have the Citadel Guard, which we're just going to go ahead and play in this lane here. The reason we're playing it in the side lane is because we do have Avalanche Guardian, who has mobility, so we're going to want to allow for the most possible mobility for a card like that. And as we see here, there's a snake. And a free Broodfang. Okay, interesting. The subterranean swamps and fetid bugs of Diz are home to those that embrace the darker side of nature. Believing the Utera out of balance, the twisted Naga and their venomous allies seek to power through corruption and decay. Okay, interesting. So I guess what this guy does is summon the Broodfang every turn. The Broodfang is... it's free. No, so it just has Broodfangs in its deck. Broodfang is the token that's summoned by Dysian Broodqueen's allied ability, the card. It deals... it's a 1/1/2/2/3/3. You get it for free as a token, usually. And when it deals damage to a creature, it gains poison to 1, 2, or 3. So, potent at taking out things. Okay, so the thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to Battlebrand this. Since I have an Alloying card, I get to level a card for free. So might as well play this over leveling the card by playing it. And since we don't want to level Cinderbot Barbarian because we want to draw it under level later, I'm going to target this Flame Rift Instigator. And then I'm going to play the Citadel Guard, blocking this Broodfang. So we don't take any unnecessary damage from it. So let's see what our opponent does. Plays Virix Embrace, which is a card that gives -4 attack, -4 health, and gains 4 health for my opponent. Even in death, my children serve their queen. Killing a Broodfang will only result in the death of your own creatures. Okay. And then she plays Dysian Sludge, which is a card that when you have 100 or more health, you get a copy of it. Oros was playing this card as well. And then Allied Necrim, when it enters the field, the creature in front of it gets -1 attack, -1 health. Okay, that's awkward. Best avoid that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play another Citadel Guard and this Avalanche Guardian to block. And just pass the turn. And hope that that she doesn't have too many more sludges. Or that I can get her below 100 before she plays more. That's awkward. Okay, Neuralius. That one I can deal with. It's a 2/2 that turns into a 4/4 when it dies. So might as well just not kill it. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to play this Crucible Colossus here to block. The thing with Crucible Colossus is it turns itself into a non-defender when you gain a rank, so it's pretty good in this kind of deck. And I'm going to play this Vault Welder. Vault Welder has an upgrade ability, meaning if you play it on top of another creature, replacing it, you get this trigger. And the trigger is that each creature you control with Defender loses and can't gain Defender. So this is perfect because it gets my opponent to exactly 100 health, which means the Sludge won't trigger again. At least not this turn. Okay, so here we have options. As before, playing Battlebrand is usually just favorable because it's pretty much just better than playing the card you would otherwise level. And like the 3/3 body on Cinderbot Barbarian also deals 6 damage right now, so I'd rather level the Battlebrand and the Barbarian. That makes sense. So kill that off, she gains 2 health, and then I'm going to play this Crucible Colossus to block the Ooze, because it's big enough to take out both the Ooze and the Oozeling and survive. Yes, these hands are pretty good. And we see Shimmerfang Serpent, which is basically just a bigger version of Broodfang some of the time. Right, so I'm just going to let this Broodfang thing die in battle and see what it kills. First things first. So what dies? Okay, that one. So it's whatever... no, it's not. That didn't happen last time. So it's just a random creature that gets killed. Okay, here is a situation where I'm not even sure I want to play Battlebrand. Simply because I have 2 very strong defenders to play instead that I'd rather get on the board, honestly. I'm going to wait on blocking the Shimmerfang Serpent. Hopefully I can take it down with like a Cinderbound Barbarian, as I have right here. So I don't have to like... Okay, this is poison already, so this is probably going to die in very short order. So I might as well actually just move this over to trade. Because it's most likely not going to get an attack in anyways. Right. I'm going to play Citadel Guard to block here. And then I'm going to Jetpack this other Citadel Guard. Move it, because Jetpack gives 1 mobility and removes Defender to get in for 15 damage. And then I'm going to pass the turn, let my Avalanche Guardian die. Yeah, so more snakes that poison when they deal damage. And the trigger kills off my Citadel Guard. That is too bad. Right, so what I'm doing here is playing Steam Sentinel to block here because it trades, and then a Flame Rift Instigator to give this Citadel Guard no more Defender. It's just a 7/2, 12/7, and 17/12 creature that removes Defender from a creature when it enters the field. That's all it does. Okay, that's annoying. Right, so I'm going to play this Barbarian here to trade and kill this Perdition Guard to get in for 7 because my opponent is getting pretty low on health. And then I'm going to block with the Steam Sentinel. Trade with the Useling. And this is just going to die. Ghost Scale Cobra is a card. It's 2-1, 5-3, 7-4 or something like that. No, 2-1, 4-2, 7-3. That deals damage. That poisons, not exactly equal to its damage, but that's functionally what it does. So anyway, right here I'm going to play this. I don't even want to play the Cinderbot Barbarian. I'd rather just play these two guys where they won't get blocked. And hope that I draw some big defenders this turn, and I do, so I can start blocking these other guys. But basically I just want these guys on the field. So he took my Battlebrand level 1. That's fine. That doesn't really matter either. So yeah, I'm going to block here with this guy and here with this guy. Trade. This guy will live, however, which is annoying, but yeah, again, hopefully, like, the goal was to hit, like, a jetpack plus removal spell for this guy, which means this guy's going to be big enough to take out my opponent. You know, actually, I can just play double jetpack to win the game here. That's what I'm going to do. I'll play jetpack here, that's 31, and then jetpack here, plus another 12, that's 43. Move over to an empty lane, and press battle. And we got it. So that game was tougher than a lot of the other ones, I gotta admit. I was down to 29 health by then, and he had a pretty substantial board. So I like this this deck building technique that I've taken on, and I assume I'm going to win the event ticket because it's my first win of the day, and a Lash of Demara. No, I get a Dysian Brew Queen. Okay, nice. So this was the card I was talking about. This has been one of the strongest cards in normal constructed, so do this mission if you want to sort of start off your constructed collection well, because this card has been at the top of the metagame since its induction into the game. It's 2, 6, 4, 11, 8, 17. Those are pretty, should we say, underwhelming stats. But then you have the Allied Utera ability, which means when it enters the field, if you have a Utera card in your hand, at the same time, you get to put a level 1 Broodfang. And as we saw before, Broodfang is this 1-1 that poisons 1. At 2, it's 2-2 poison 2. And at 3, it's 3-3 poison 3. That you get to play for free into one of your available spaces. And then you have this activate, which says you can destroy another creature you control to destroy a target level 1 creature an opponent controls. And this is level 2 or lower, or any creature. So what this does is, this is sort of a very powerful build-around card, because you can play these sort of cards like the Neuralius you saw before. It's a bad example, but it's one of those cards. That's the type of card you want with Brew Queen. Like, when it dies, it becomes bigger. Or it replaces itself with a bigger token. So, yeah. So that's really powerful. And now I'm going to check what we get in this pack. Come on. Okay, we got a heroic. We got a Frostfang Maiden. Frostfang Maiden is one of the mobility synergy heroics. 4, 5, 7, 10, 15, 17. Mobility 1, 2, 3. And when a creature you control moves into a lane, that creature deals 3, 4, 5 damage to another creature in that lane. This card is also very powerful if you get it in the right deck. Similar to Dysian Brew Queen, this is sort of the card that wants you to build a Tempest Necrium or a Tempest Aloyan mobility deck with a lot of creatures that move around in front of your opponent's creatures. A card like Stormbringer is very powerful with this. Stormbringer is a card that moves to a random lane at the end of every turn and deals damage, deals a set amount of damage to the creature in front of it when it moves into a lane with a creature in it. And so with this, that damage just gets tripled. So yeah, good pack. So yeah, that was that. We beat the Dysian Betrayal mission. The one we've got available now is Lash of Demara. We also have Dampening Field. And I'm gonna be rolling those out sometime during April. Hopefully not too late. I know I've been sort of on a hiatus with these things, but that's because I've had a lot of stuff to tend to, a lot of school, business, a lot of internal things within the A1 SolForge team, so it's been tough, but I'm going to try to get these done more frequently, and also try to stream more. But anyway, that's been all from me. Thank you all very much for watching. Please go check out my Twitter, my Twitch channel, and also a1sf.blogspot.com for more awesome SolForge content, and I'll see you all next time.